So we're now ready to work on this cash flow waterfall section. So we know that we have two partners in this joint venture. We have the general and the limited partners. So the general partners manages the project, and of course they bring in the least amount of capital. And also they also have a fiduciary duty to act on behalf of the limited partners. And the limited partners, on the other hand, have a limited liability, and they bring majority of the capital into this real estate development project. But again, they don't have any control over the management decisions. So there are basically three reasons why real estate development projects form a joint venture. One of the reasons is for complementary assets. The limited partners, or say the general partners, the GPs, they manage a project, so they have the expertise and the knowledge to find and execute real estate development projects. While the limited partners, on the other hand, they bring in majority of the capital into the real estate project. So bringing together capital and knowledge, expertise, makes sense to form real estate joint venture. As a result, that's one of the reasons why they form a joint venture. The second reason is incentives. So the structure of the GPs in a real estate development project allows for disproportionate returns that keeps them motivated and success-oriented to execute the real estate development project. And in terms of structure, which is the third reason, for the LPs, they have a limited liability and a liquidation preference in case the real estate development project goes sideways. So these are the three reasons why real estate formed a joint venture. And as you can see, we'll be demonstrating the disproportional returns here. We have for the tier 1, which is a steady hurdle rate. If they hit this hurdle rate, then they will achieve this rate of return. So if we move to tier 2, you're gonna see it moves from 10 to 15%, and it moves again by 5% to tier 3. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna set up this as this is the amount of capital that is brought in by the GPs. They bring in 10% of the leverage free cash flow. So this is 10% of, and they bring in 90% of the leverage free cash flow. So 90% of the capital. So if we go all equals that, we can take this, we copy, we paste it here, Control V, F4 to repeat the like action. And we do the same thing here. So as you can see, as we move down this tier from tier 1 to tier 2, as the limited partners, their proportion goes down, the general partners, their proportion goes up. So this is what we call disproportional returns. And as a result, it keeps them motivated and success-oriented to execute the project. So this is exactly what we find in real estate development projects and what is very common nowadays. First of all, what we want to do here is to account for the amount of capital that is brought in by investor type. So for the LPs, which is the limited partners, we're gonna say that equal to if, we're gonna set up an if statement saying if the levered free cash flow of this amount is less than 0, it means that there is So we are saying that if that amount is less than 0, then what we want to do is we want to take this contribution by the limited partners that are contributing 90%. We take that number, which we reference with F4, and then we multiply it by the total amount of equity that is required. So we take that amount and multiply it by that, otherwise 0, close the bracket, and we press enter. So we see that number there. This is how much the LPs will be contributing. For the GPs, we're just going to take that formula, we copy it, and we paste it here. We Control V, and then we just go F2, and we do some editing. So in this case, this cell is referring to this. So the GPs, they're contributing they're contributing 10%. And the LPs are contributing 90%. So that's it, the setup. Then total contributions, we can go all equals, and we can see that it equals that number there. So we can take this all the way to the right and to the end and fill it with Control R. So as you can see, both parties are contributing approximately 9.6 million. So this is the peak equity that is injected into this project. So for the cash that's going to be distributed among the partners, we're going to say this cell should be equal to if the levered free cash flow, for we know that we had returns, we had positive cash flow here. So we say if this levered free cash flow is greater than 0, then give us that number greater than 0, the positive free cash flow to distribute. Otherwise 0, close the bracket and press enter. So when we take this all the way to the end,